the end of commencement services in May, maybe even just minutes afterwards, I left campus for my annual 8-day retreat that we do as members of the Society of Jesus, as well as the many people, women and men, who practice Ignatian spirituality. I enjoyed a bit of travel after my retreat, and then generally spent most of my summer right here on campus and in the office. And it was a productive summer. But I'm certainly glad to see students return and to give this campus the sense of vibrancy and life that you bring to us at Creighton University. And really, you are the purpose for why we're here and what we do. But also to have faculty come back from their research experiences and other travel engagements. And then at the end of the summer, I was able to leave campus just for a bit again for a trip to a faraway destination. I returned to India, to the city of Calcutta, and it was a powerful experience with 3 different kinds of graces, or if you will, 3 gifts. I traveled to India because I wanted to see the site and agency of work of one of our Opus Prize candidates. So I went to visit this woman who works in the city of Calcutta for the past 15 years in a place to empower women out of the systems of commodity and objectification that they live in with regular prostitution. I had been to India 20 years earlier to spend a month in Mother Teresa's place of work. And in returning to this city, I felt so at home. Because that experience 20 years ago was so powerful in my life, to work next to Mother's sisters in her hospice facility for the dying, those off the streets. And to be in a city of Hindu temples and Muslim chants and other great works of service and mercy, but to witness these sisters and their work. One of my first trips as a young Jesuit, in fact, to an international destination for the work of immersion and ministry. And so the gift was to return and to remember the power of that experience and to be back on those streets and to visit that hospice and to remember the impact it had in my own life and the power of inspiration in my life by seeing her work, trying to offer difference and meaning and a source of love in their lives. So gift number 2 was Sarah and Sari Bari, her organization, and its power and impact in that city. And then the third gift comes back to Mother Teresa herself. I didn't meet Mother on my first trip. She had died months just before I got there. But I spent every morning in Mother House at morning prayer and then at Mass with her sisters before we were dispatched to places of work and ministry. And so in returning, I was able to go to that Mother House now as a priest and to kind of celebrate Mass. What a privilege for the women of that community and for volunteers from all around the world doing some of the work I did 2 decades ago. They made a statue of Mother, a life-size statue, which isn't all that tall, in the place where she used to sit and pray. So you have this sense of her presence there. One of our readings is explicit about the work of grace and gifts in our lives. It speaks to the kinds of gifts many of us live with that of wisdom and perspective, of understanding, of healing, of discernment of spirits, something we talked about last year at this Mass, of speech, of interpretation. And in that reading, we're asked to recognize the kind of gifts we live with. And then in the gospel, challenged to figure out how to share those gifts with others around us, with the world. But the readings do something else. I think they let us ask, what kind of gifts do we need in our lives now? If you were to start a retreat, a Jesuit Ignatian retreat today with Father Gillick, or with Father Alexander, or Maureen Waldron, or other women and men on this campus who direct Ignatian retreats, they might ask you the very question for this retreat: what grace, what gift do you need in your life? How can you chance God? And so I ask the same question for this year for us in two ways: personally, and as a campus, a community. Personally, as a student, brand new, persisting through semesters toward the end of your college career, what kind of gift do you seek? What will make this year meaningful and transformational? It's part of the work that we hope of you in your life, as faculty and staff, for the impact you can have on those of us who live and learn here, for the work we do for the mission of the Society of Jesus in higher learning. What's a gift for who you are and why you are on this campus? What propels you forward and keeps asking you to unfold as God asks us to unfold with new gifts and graces? And of course, those gifts are for others, as we've talked about. Your gifts for this campus, for this city, and much further abroad. So for you, in starting this year and invoking the presence of the Holy Spirit in our lives, what gift do you seek? And then what gift can we seek as a campus community? Well, to both of these, I have two suggestions. The first is imagination, and the second is action. I'll take lead from the first reading and invite you to dream for who you are and who we are as Creighton University. To imagine where we're going, how you unfold, and how this campus continues to evolve. But our dreams and our imaginations are worthless without action. So then the question becomes, what do you do about those dreams? Pray with me as we begin this year in the great privilege of higher learning and the Jesuit and Catholic tradition. For the gifts you seek, certainly, and the power of that grace in your life, but also for imagination of who you are becoming and where Creighton's going, and then the action to make that happen.